What if the thing that looks like your app entry point isn't your app at all? In Kubernetes, Ingress is really the doorway in front of your services. It catches incoming HTTPS traffic, applies routing rules, and then hands requests off to the right place. So here's the simple mental model. Without Ingress, users may need to hit separate service IPs or node ports. With Ingress, you get one shared entry point, and that entry point can fan out to many different services. That's a lot cleaner to operate. Let's trace a real request. A browser sends a GET for a path like /shop to the Ingress controller. The controller checks the rule, forwards the request to a service, and then the service sends traffic to a pod. The response comes back the same way. The key part is that the controller applies the match rules first. Here's a tiny Ingress manifest, and it shows the three pieces that matter most. The host says which domain this rule applies to. The path says which URL prefix to match. And the backend points to the service name and port that should receive the traffic. This is the aha moment. The Ingress YAML is just the configuration object. The Ingress controller is the thing that watches that config and turns it into real routing, sometimes even configuring a cloud load balancer. So the resource describes intent, and the controller makes it happen. One Ingress can split traffic in a really practical way. A request for shop.example.com with /shop can go to one service, while /blog can go to another. So you're not just exposing one app. You're building a routing table for multiple apps behind one public edge. Now place that controller inside the cluster. External traffic comes in from the internet to the Ingress controller, then it forwards cluster traffic to a service, and the service selects the pods. Notice the pattern here. Ingress doesn't talk to pods directly. It stays at the routing layer. So the core definition is pretty simple. Ingress is the rule set, and the controller is the worker that enforces those rules. If you remember only one thing, remember that split. Config in one place, actual network behavior in another. TLS termination is another big reason people use Ingress. The browser connects over HTTPS to the Ingress controller, the certificate lives there, and then traffic can continue inside the cluster as plain HTTP to the service. That gives you secure traffic at the edge, without forcing every internal hop to be encrypted the same way. In the TLS block, the important fields are the host and the secret name. The host tells Kubernetes which domain the certificate belongs to. The secret name points to the certificate secret the controller will use. So the Ingress can serve HTTPS without hard-coding cert details into your app. This is why Ingress matters in real systems. You often end up with many exposed services and repeated load balancers. With it, you get one entry point, shared routing, and centralized TLS. That means less operational noise and a much cleaner network setup. So let's lock in the mental model. Ingress is a routing rule set. The controller does the real work. Services stay behind the cluster. Host and path decide where traffic goes, and TLS can terminate right at Ingress. That's the foundation you'll use over and over.